In today's video we're taking a look at this, the BenQ V7050i. This is their 4K ultra short throw laser projector. We've been sent it for review, but we've not been asked to say anything good or bad about it, and all of the thoughts expressed will be our own. But what this thing is packed full of features, got some really nice touches, and, spoiler alert, no surprise from BenQ, this is one of the most colour accurate 4K ultra short throw laser projectors you'll find. So let's take a bit of a deep dive and find out whether this thing is worth the quite hefty price tag. Don't forget to hit the red button to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up and click the notification bell to get my next video first. Okay, so let's get started, and opening the box you are presented with a well-packed projector. In there is also a media accessory kit, and here you have your BenQ QS1 media stick, which I'll come on to later, and also a second remote, which is a really nice, quite classy backlit remote. But again, there's a couple of things that you need to know about that, which I'll cover in just a few moments. This is the first ultra short throw laser projector that I've tested that has actually got a protection cover over the top of the light source. And that is probably quite surprising, but definitely a very good idea. The other thing which is good about this is motorized, and so therefore you're not having to worry about sliding it back and forward yourself. What's your thoughts about the look of this projector? I really like it. I think it's minimal but classy. I love that little blue stripe. It's not necessary at all, but it just does add a little bit of an accent, which I think makes it look very good indeed. I do have to say that I was slightly disappointed that there are only two HDMI ports. One of these is designed to house the HDMI dongle from BenQ, the QS01, which I'll come on to in a second, and the other is either an HDMI second port or an audio return channel. So if you have got a sound system hooked up to that audio return, it means there's no other HDMI port, which for me at this price point is very disappointing. One thing that we have seen on other BenQ projectors is a separate housing for the media stick, which also needs to be powered via USB. Now this is fine because it doesn't then take up those HDMI ports, and it works really well. Whereas on this laser projector, having this stuck out the back not only takes up that HDMI port, but looks a little bit unsightly, and the fact that you've got to then power it also with a USB cable just makes the whole process not as neat and tidy as I think some people would like when you're paying this much money. It can end up just looking a little bit messy, but what's your thoughts? I think I would just prefer a built-in operating system so that you don't have to worry. Now when it comes to the setup, there are some easy guides which you can just pull out of the back of the projector, and this gives you an indication of the distance away from the wall, and you can use the online BenQ calculator to set it up. What is slightly frustrating though is you still need to position the projector exactly in the right place. There are the test patterns that you can use to set it up, and by the way guys, what is this with some of these projectors that we get this overhang? I've just struggled to be able to fix that. I would appreciate anyone that knows letting me know. But what you don't have is something like this, which was on the Extreme Aura, and this is just a brilliant way that you can pull in the corners of the picture so that it exactly fits your screen. That isn't present on this projector, and it would have been a nice touch to have featured it. Anyone that's had a BenQ projector in the past will be very familiar with the menu setup, and they'll also be familiar with how advanced it is. Once you're in advanced settings, you can go in and change almost everything. Yes, it may fall short in some of the setup functions, but in terms of getting the perfect picture, this is one of the best menu systems and settings controls we've seen. The projector comes with two remote controls. One of these is to control the media stick, and the other is the main BenQ projector, which is backlit and also has many shortcut functions, which is really good. One thing that I was a little bit confused about though is only the media stick remote control controlled the volume, and that didn't matter which input I was in. Obviously I would expect this controller to control the media stick functions, but it didn't matter whether I was on my PlayStation or on my satellite cable box. It was only this remote control that ended up controlling the volume, so I just ended up using this most of the time. And also this is the only remote control that has the Google microphone for searching through Google Play Store. Okay, so we're all set up now, and it's time to start enjoying your projector. And the first thing that you'll notice is the operating system via that BenQ QS01. Now, it's run by Android, and it's very similar to any Google or Android TV setup that you've seen before. You've got access to the Google Play Store, but as you can see from this, you don't have access to Netflix, and it's something which is quite familiar on a number of different projectors. but there are some workarounds you can do with Chromecast and AirPlaying it or hooking up something else. To be honest guys, my advice is just to use a different type of device like a Fire Stick or maybe Apple TV. But when you do actually get this set up and you're watching a picture, the things that you're going to notice are the incredible brightness of this projector and just the perfect colours. It is absolutely exceptional. Picture quality is pin sharp and everything just looks stunningly good. As I already showed you in the menu system, there are loads of different settings for tweaking the picture. I used a combination of Bright Cinema and also Filmmaker mode, and both of those out of the box looked absolutely great. This is currently in Bright Cinema and I think it looks fantastic. So whatever is your preference, you can obviously tweak it, and there are so many other settings that you can go in and change as well. But if you're the type of person that wants a setting right out of the box, then Bright Cinema would be my recommendation. Now, one obvious feature and benefit with this projector being so bright is the fact that it does pretty good job during daylight as well. And as you can see, I'm in a very, very bright room in the middle of the day, and that picture quality is exceptional. It's 2,500 ANSI lumens, and so therefore you're getting a great picture day or night. But as I drop that blind, even though it is still the day, I've got the lamps on and there's still a lot of residual light, the picture just pops off the screen straight away. So this is one of the best projectors that we've seen for both daytime and also nighttime viewing. One thing that I thought I'd mention is about the sound, because this sound is the Trivolo sound, which is something which BenQ have featured previously, but I think it's slightly disappointing that there are only two 5-watt speakers. It does have a feature called Virtual Surround Sound, but I didn't really pick that up on this, and I found that the two 5-watt speakers were a little under par, comparing it to some of its competitors, which may have as many as 15 to 60 watts of speaker outage. Therefore, this does get okay loudness, but it's a little bit disappointing that you can't really make the room shake. In a dark room, I was really pleasantly surprised by the black levels. There's a contrast ratio of 2 million to 1, and it does deliver a really good performance when you've got a good quality source going through it. Certainly in 4K, the black level is okay. You're never obviously going to get true blacks like an OLED TV, but whereas some other UST projectors I've described as having a dark grey effect type black, this is definitely a step better than that. But let me know what your thoughts are. This is a good indication with what's being shown on the screen now, what type of picture you get. This type of projector is not really designed for gaming. The input lag is always just a little bit too high, and that's pretty much the same on every ultra short throw projector. We measured the input lag on this one at around 75 milliseconds, which again for competitive gaming is just a little bit too high. However, if you're an occasional gamer like me, you really won't notice the difference, and unless you are playing competitive online gameplay, then that input lag is mostly irrelevant. But what you are getting is that immersive, huge, big screen experience, and that, for me, is worth more than the input lag deficiency. This projector does support 3D. It obviously knocks the resolution down to 1080p, but if you're keen on 3D movies, then this will be great for you. Now, in summary, guys, what this projector I think is for is the keen movie enthusiast, and that is really what the big screen is all about. Yes, you can play gaming on it, but it's all about the imagery when it comes to HDR content and those movies, and this with the extra brightness and the incredible color accuracy is absolutely perfect for those big screen blockbuster movies. And if you get this projector for that, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. The only thing that I would say is that if I was you, I would have a separate sound source, but again, if you're spending this type of money on a home theater setup, I would like to think that you'll be doing that anyway. Guys, I hope this review has been useful for you. Leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts are. Is this something that is going to be of interest to you? I hope that you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.